that, once upon a time, in a hidden world far beneath our feet, there existed a magnificent kingdom of mice. This wasn't just a simple burrow. It was a sprawling underground city, a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers bustling with thousands of happy mice. They lived a life of harmony and cooperation, guided by their wise and benevolent ruler, the Mouse King. In this kingdom, every mouse had a role, from digging new tunnels to stocking the vast storerooms with grains and seeds. They worked together, shared everything they had, and their days were filled with peace and contentment. It was a perfect, tiny society, thriving in the quiet dark. But one day, the tranquility of their kingdom was shattered. A frantic group of mice burst into the royal chamber, their whiskers trembling with fear. They scurried to the throne, their voices a chorus of panic. "Your Majesty, Your Majesty," they squeaked. "It's a disaster. The humans have laid traps everywhere. So many of our brothers and sisters have been caught. We are no longer safe to forage for food." The news sent a ripple of fear throughout the chamber. The happy kingdom was suddenly facing its greatest threat. The Mouse King's kind face grew serious, his brow furrowed with deep concern. He knew panic would solve nothing. He immediately called a grand meeting, summoning every mouse in the kingdom to the Great Hall. The air was thick with tension and sorrow as mice shared stories of close calls and lost loved ones. They cried out for revenge, for a way to fight back against the giant humans. After listening patiently to every voice, every sob, and every fearful plea, the king finally rose. His voice, calm and steady, silenced the crowd. "My dear subjects," he began, "we cannot fight the humans with brute force. They are giants, and we are small. To face them head-on would be our doom." A murmur of disappointment went through the crowd, but the king continued, his voice ringing with authority and hope. "But we are not helpless. We have something the humans underestimate: our unity and our cleverness. If we work together, if we use our wits, we will not only survive, we will thrive." A spark of hope ignited in the hearts of the mice. The king then laid out his brilliant plan. He ordered the mice to form new teams, not for foraging, but for gathering. Their mission was to collect small, overlooked treasures from the world above. Tiny scraps of iron, discarded pieces of string, and strong, straight sticks. The entire kingdom mobilized. For days and nights, the mice worked tirelessly, their tiny paws scurrying to and from the surface under the cover of darkness. They dragged back bits of metal, rolled up threads, and carried twigs far bigger than themselves. It was a monumental effort, a testament to their unity. But under the king's direction, the most skilled builders in the kingdom began their work. They used the collected materials to engineer a marvel of mouse ingenuity, a secret, reinforced underground path. This wasn't just a simple tunnel. It was a secure highway, hidden from all human eyes, leading directly into the heart of the humans' largest food storeroom. The plan was a stunning success. Now, the mice could bypass the dangerous open fields and the deadly traps. Each night, small silent parties would venture through their secret passage. They would emerge inside the storeroom, a paradise filled with sacks of flour, barrels of grain, and shelves of cheese. They took only what they needed, tiny bits of food, leaving barely a trace of their presence. The humans were none the wiser. The traps outside remained empty, and the kingdom of mice was safe once more. Peace and prosperity returned, all thanks to their king's wisdom and their collective hard work. For a long time, the kingdom flourished in this newfound security. The storerooms were full. The young mice grew up hearing tales of the great ingenuity, and life was good. But as time passed, a new generation of mice grew restless. Among them was a young, bold, and reckless mouse who had never known true danger. He was strong and proud, and he grew tired of living in the shadows. One day, he stood before a crowd of his peers and declared, "Why should we live like thieves, skulking in the dark and taking mere crumbs? We are clever, we are strong. Why should we hide underground forever? The world above is rich with food. Let's go out and take it for ourselves. Let's show the humans the true power of the mice." His fiery words resonated with some of the younger mice who were bored with their peaceful but hidden lives. The idea of adventure and conquest was thrilling. A faction began to form around the young, ambitious mouse. The old king, hearing of this, summoned the young mouse to his chamber. He looked at him not with anger, but with a deep, sad wisdom in his eyes. "My boy," he warned gently, "your courage is admirable, but it is misplaced. Greed and pride are the seeds of destruction. They will poison our kingdom. Remember who we are. We survive through humility and cleverness, not through arrogance and force. Stay humble, live wisely, and our kingdom will endure." But the young mouse was blinded by his own ambition. He saw the king's wisdom as weakness, his caution as cowardice. He scoffed at the old ruler's warning. "Your time is past, old king," he declared. "It's time for a new era." He gathered his followers, a bold and defiant group, and ignored the pleas of the elders. He led his small army up to the surface, not in the quiet of night, but in the bold light of day. They marched openly into the humans' kitchen, climbing onto tables and raiding the pantry, declaring the world theirs for the taking. Their arrogance was their downfall. The humans, shocked to see such a brazen invasion, did not set more traps. They brought a swifter, more efficient solution: cats. Sleek, silent hunters were released into the house. The raid turned into a massacre. The young, proud mouse and all of his followers were no match for the swift predators. Their dreams of conquest ended in tragedy. None of them ever returned to the underground kingdom. The news of the disaster fell like a stone upon the kingdom. The mice who remained were struck with grief and a terrible, hard-won understanding. Their wise king had been right all along. With heavy hearts, they renewed their commitment to his teachings. They reinforced their secret tunnels, strengthened their community bonds, and taught their children the importance of unity, humility, and cleverness. They worked hard, lived peacefully, and respected the balance between their world and the world above. For many, many generations, the kingdom of mice remained hidden, a secret thriving beneath the earth. It was a small but resilient world, a timeless lesson that, in the face of overwhelming power, true strength is found not in force, but in wisdom and working together. And so the legend of the Mouse Kingdom lives on, a quiet reminder that sometimes the greatest victories are the ones no one else ever sees. Thank you so much for joining us for this story today. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more tales. We'll see you in the next video.